Here's your weather briefing's longer range outlook and upcoming weather trends for the period of December the 5th through the 17th of 2013. The big weather story in the first week of December has been the very mild temperatures across the eastern portion of the country. The northeastern U.S. and the Great Lakes seeing temperatures in the 50s for the first half of the week. But these maps illustrate the colder air coming in from the northwest. The first map is December the 5th. That would be Thursday, and that shows the cold front coming through the Michigan area and down through Illinois. And you can see the sharp contrast in the temperatures between the blue, the much colder air, and the greens and yellows, which are the much milder air. Those are being pushed off to the east as you follow along to the right. The map for Friday shows that cold front passing through the Great Lakes and headed toward New England. And by Saturday, that very cold air settles in across the northeastern part of the country and even starts to affect places as far south as Virginia and West Virginia. And that will be the case all the way through the upcoming weekend and on into early next week. Here's a longer range projection showing the weather forecast expected for Sunday through Monday. This would be indicating the high pressure that sits over Quebec, the core of the cold air that sits over New England and the Great Lakes. With the return flow bringing some moisture in off the Atlantic, and you can see the green and blue areas especially. That is some moderate precipitation, primarily in the form of rain, taking shape and developing over Kentucky and Tennessee and spreading eastward and eventually northeastward through Sunday night into Monday into some of that colder air. Here's the map for Sunday night. It shows that moisture streaming northeastward toward Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey areas, and those areas especially along the coast and having that coastal influence will see more in the form of rain than snow, but you don't have to go very far north and northwest to get into a more likely snow pattern across the northern portions of Pennsylvania up into New York State, and that will be the case for Sunday night into Monday. The wet weather continues on Monday with rain along the coast and snow and mixed precipitation in some of the higher elevations of New York, Pennsylvania, down into West Virginia, but you can see the low pressure system that's gaining strength over southern Ontario, just east of Michigan, will be drawing some colder air back in. And those areas in Michigan will see some snow showers. And in fact, along the Lake Huron shoreline with the northeasterly wind flow potential, there could be some lake effect snow into Monday night and early Tuesday. The midweek period next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, looks fairly quiet with high pressure in charge of the weather. As you can see on this map here, this would be Friday morning's projection. It shows a couple of areas of moisture to be watched because it looks as though they may combine over the east coastal areas up toward Maine as we get on into next weekend, and the potential for some very cold air behind that. That first system north of Michigan up in the northern portions of Ontario, and the second one with more moisture down along the Gulf coastal areas, that's going to move northeastward, and the other storm system up in the Ontario area will move eastward, and the two again expected to combine and converge over the New England states and head off toward the northeast. As it strengthens, it does pull in quite a bit of cold air for the first part of the following week, the 16th, 17th, 18th time frame of December. The next couple of maps are from the Climate Prediction Center, and these are the 8 to 14-day outlooks for both temperature and precipitation and what the trends are expected to be based on current conditions as well as those that are forecast. And we can see much likely that below normal temperatures will be covering a good part of the country, and the further north you go, the more likely that they're going to be below normal, and quite possibly the more intense the cold air too. Quite a bit of blue across the map, so lots of cold air coming in across the New England states as well as the Great Lakes, and that'll be the trend all the way from midweek next week on through next weekend and on into the early portions, the 15th, 16th, 17th, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of December. Similarly, the precipitation probabilities from the Climate Prediction Center show quite a bit of moisture over the east part of the nation, and we've seen that in some of the earlier charts here over the last few minutes. This trend for above normal moisture will carry us again in the same time frame through the middle portion of next week, through the following weekend, up into the 16th, 17th of December, the early parts of the middle part of the month. And the combination, the implication of the much colder than normal temperatures and the above normal precipitation would imply fair amounts of snow setting up, and especially these charts seeming to indicate that for the latter portion of this particular time frame, again talking about late next week. And with snow potential in the forecast heading on into the middle of the month, this is a good time to review the benefits of your web page that we have established for you. And if you weren't with us last year, you have the information that is on the right side of this screen that is available to you 24/7, and it includes alerts and warnings for your area. This is the place that we update first. At any time, you can check on this page and get the latest indications on either alerts that are a couple of days out where we expect the possibility of some weather that you'd be needing to deal with, or even warnings as those situations gradually come together. Real-time radar, the lower portion of the screen, that's on your screen 24/7 as well, and always updates with the latest information. And we do send feeds over Twitter as well, so you can follow it on the page here, or you can follow it on your mobile device, as is most convenient for you. The area to the right in the lower corner, that is the warning and alert system. That will give you specifics as to what we expect, time frame, duration, type of precipitation, amounts of accumulation, etc. That correlates directly to the warning information that's up in the alert box up in the corner. And of course, the video forecast up in the right corner, that's what you're watching now, and that will be updated periodically with longer range outlooks, again, for some planning purposes for you. Thanks again for checking in on this video update from Weather Briefings, and have a great day.